Hi folks, just before today's video, just a quick mention of my new book. This is Watercolour Painting Made Simple. This is volume 2. It's a whole series of simple step-by-step photographic guides, just taking you through each painting step by step. You can, it's in softback, hardback, Kindle version. Just follow the links in the description or just search Amazon for Stephen Cronin. You'll see it on there. So that's my new book. Thanks for watching, and let's dive into today's painting. Hi, thanks for joining me again for another demo, watercolour painting. This one, I've just made this one up as I went along. Another like river scene in the woods. All this light coming through, took a few shadows out from just trying to accentuate the light. So let me show you the materials I've used for this one. So the palette, we've got ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber and light red. Got the large Ron Ransonite brush and a couple of rigger, number 3 rigger, and then a tiny little one. I think I only use that for the bird in this one. So most of it's just done with the 2 brushes. So I thought I'd just make one up today, a sort of river flowing through the woods type of scene. I do like painting those types. I'm going to kick off a bit of raw sienna, a bit of alizarin crimson, a bit of ultramarine. I'm just going to push that in from either side. A bit of ultramarine there. Just leaving that light area down the centre. Trying to get as much variation as I can with those 3 colours. Didn't wet it very well. It's just a little bit dry, but that's not a problem. No problem at all. Clean the brush. I get a few greens in there next. So I'm going lemon yellow, bit of burnt ultramarine, bit of Payne's grey there as well, and then lemon yellow. And this is sort of massive greens in the background. A bit more blue down the bottom. Right then. That's enough background, just general background colour, nothing more than that. So I'm going to clean the brush, stick that over there, out of the light. I'm switching to a number 3 rigger and I'm mixing a bit of burnt umber, a bit of lemon yellow, and then I'm just flicking up just a whole mass of trees in the background. A lot of these are softened off and some of them you won't even see by the time I put the foreground stuff in, but you will see some of them through the trees. These are the reflections below because there's going to be some water down there. More colour on the brush. Incidentally, anyone who's bought my book, thanks a lot for that. If you haven't done a review on Amazon, that'd be very much appreciated if you could just spare a couple of minutes just to do that. I'm working on volume 3 at the moment. That's about 8 demonstrations on there. I'll do an update video this week, just show you how it's going. Just soak that up at the bottom. Watch the water. That's what I often do. It starts creeping up the paper and just makes the bottom look a mess. Just pop a few more leaves. You can see it's still going on very, very faint because the paper's still pretty wet. And there's a couple of hairs on there, but I'm not going to worry about them. I'll just leave them in the paint in there. So let's just pull the paper tight against the board before I go any further. And then what I'm going to do is just work out fairly dry brush, a bit of lemon yellow, a bit of raw sienna. I'm just going to work out roughly the lie of the land now. So where should we go? So it's I've got to be careful. They always tend to look quite very similar. I'm trying to do something different. So if we have a bit of land coming down there like that, and that will go out somewhere, and then another one coming down just in front of there, and that sort of goes right up there like that. And it comes down there. Imagine like a little bend there in the river. So it's going to just come down there, something like that. Bit more land there. And then shall we maybe stop about there, something like that. Showing you how much land's over in the foreground. Let's pop something in there. So there's just something there like that. Might just leave that side like it is. So that's the sort of basic layout, what we're looking for. So because the paper's dried now, this will go on a little bit stronger. So it's back to the rigger brush, and you can see a little bit stronger. I'm just going to reflect some of those down there in the water. I always put the reflections in at the same time so I don't forget them. Bit of blue, bit of green, bit of yellow. A few more on this side. Just reflecting down to that little area there, a little bit of water. Right. Then a bit of burnt umber into it now. This is getting a little bit darker. And we'll pop one about there like that. That's going up a little bit bigger. Like I say, pop the reflection at the same time so you don't forget. And then as the paint's leaving the brush, I tend to then just go a bit mad with little twigs and things and branches. Bit more brown, a bit more blue. Let's stick another one there. Get the reflection in at the same time. And you see it slowly it will just build up. Another one there in that direction. As it's giving up the hill. Put that reflection down there. A few more twigs and things going on. A bit more water, loosen the paint up. Brown, blue, quite a dark mix, and this one is just a little bit smaller behind it. Put that reflection in. Reflections don't have to be bang on, as long as they're there or thereabouts, you give the impression of water. Let's have something going up there. That's some down here. Right then, let's go a bit, strengthen some of this. A bit of light red in there, bit of colour variation, bit of blue just to darken it a little bit, so a few down there as well. Right, need some trees now, some stronger ones, so it's back to the rigger brush, brown, blue, it's quite a dark mix, and pop something there. You can see the water runs out pretty quick with this rigger brush. Total contrast to the main brush, the height brush that I use. So the land is about there, so I've stopped just short of that. More water, more paint. Let's have another one up there. Remember, the more you press down on the brush, the broader the stroke will be. So you get a nice thick stroke there. few twigs and branches and things all up there. A little bit of reflection. A bit more water, a bit more paint. Brown, blue. Need a big one there. I'm going to press down so you get a nice broad stroke. Get that reflection down there. Reload the brush. Get another one in there, slightly leaning to the left this one. Do them all different directions, it'll look more natural that way. And don't put them all equally spaced apart either, because it'll look too artificial. Even if you're going off a reference photo, sometimes you might need to just change little elements here and there just to improve the composition. Remember, it's only an impression, we're not doing like photo realism. A few little grasses and reeds and things. A little bit of reflection down there. Right, let's go back in. So I'm going to clean the brush now with a hake. Back to the hake brush. Let's just go lemon yellow. Blending the bases on there. Okay, just makes it look as if it's a bit better grounded. Just a little bit of red in there, just to liven it up a bit. Right, let's put some of these banks in. So just enough water just to get this chisel edge, no more than that. I'm doing brown, blue, it's a little bit too wet this mix. Right, so coming. I've done this slightly too, just try and dry this a little bit, get some of this water off, it's too wet. So again, just brown and blue, gives you really dark, almost black mix. Just popping in these banks now. So you can see which way the water's flowing, and then just straighten a few little rocks and things. A few more on this side. Brush is too wet, so I'm just going to take some of the water out of it. Back into that yellow. Just define this foreground a bit better. Yellow, bit of blue. It's got a little bit dirty there, so I'm just going to clean it back to a light colour. Bit of Payne's grey in there, darker sections. I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's just get this flat. I'm going to put a bit of foliage up in the trees, I think. So I get that clip on there. So I want to clean, basically I want to dry brush the leaves on, so squeezing the water out, take the rest off on the tea towel. I'm just giving lemon yellow, just a dab in the ultramarine. It's a dry brush, just little leaves going on here and there. Needs to be fairly dry because otherwise it'll just block in too much, you won't be able to see the background. A little bit of reflection down below. The paint's great, some dark, more shadowy sections. So what I'm going to do next, I just want to soften these banks off a little bit. So I just want a clean damp brush. So I've squeezed a lot of the water out, so it's just damp, and I want it a sharp edge. I'm just catching the side of those banks, just trying to blend it in a little bit better. Shimmer on the other side. What I might also do is just very lightly, just brush straight across their eye, just trying to create sort of ripples on the water. Very light. That's enough of that. Right, it's a few little darker bits in. I'm just going lemon yellow, ultramarine, a bit of Payne's grey in there as well. I think it's time to get a few shadows in there, I think. Let's make a shadowy mix. So, I've cleaned the brush. I'm doing brown, red and blue. And it ends up a sort of bluey grey type of colour. Right, so I'm going to have the shadows coming across there like that, so they're sort of coming over the tops of there. Strengthen these a little bit, make them a little bit darker. I missed that one there. Darken that a little bit. And just sort of just getting sort of lost amongst all the density. So I've put a few little shadows and things down there. I'm going to blend that in a little bit. think what I'm going to do now is squeeze out a bit of lemon yellow. Lemon yellow. And a bit of ultramarine as well, and sort of mix the two together. So I want a dry brush, so I'm just squeezing the water out of it. Taking the rest out on the tea towel. I think first I'm going to take first I want to see if we can just get a sort of lighter area down there. Just some lighter trees right in the distance. Just ones that are just catching the light. Coming slightly further. Right, so I'm taking a bit of lemon yellow, just a touch of burnt umber as well. I'll drop a bit of that in the trees area, tree area. Just very, very light touch. A bit over here as well. And over there. Once you've done it, don't keep going over the same place, just dab, 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 keep moving away from it. Just a little, some down there. Down here in the foreground. A little bit of, just a few foreground grasses and things. Going to flick up, switch the rigger brush, a bit darker than that, bit of brown, bit of blue. Put these right into this area down there, just maximise the contrast. Things over there. I better stop doing those before I completely overdo it. Just want to darken some of that foliage at the top. So I'm going to use a fairly dry brush. I'm going to go a bit of lemon yellow, a bit of Payne's grey. We've got a really dark green type of colour. Same on the other either side. I think I'm going to stop there before I can see or overdo it. Switch the, oops, the little rigger. And right there, I think actually just up there, I'm going to stick the bird just about seeing it there. And then last but not least, stick your name in the corner. I'm going to call that one finished. I'll never even use the hairdryer, not once. Right, let's see what it looks like with the mounts on. So here's our finished painting the mounts. So if we go and have a closer look. Started off with the background. It was sort of lemon yellow, bit of raw sienna in there, bit of light, bit of ultramarine. And you can see I've sort of left these unpainted central sections. It gives the impression of just the lights coming through, that sort of massive foliage. Bit of reflected off the water there as well. Those first trunks that I put in with the rigger, just you can, well, just see a hint of them in the background. Just gives that sort of three-dimensional look. Just the odd ones here and there. Most of them sort of fade away to nothing, but it helps create that sense of depth. And then as you come closer and closer to the foreground, they go on stronger and stronger until you got these sort of these ones here on the left and these ones on the right. I was going to do a big one right in the foreground. I actually forgot all about it. So you can imagine you've got the light coming from here and it's sort of casting its shadow. Just pick the shadows from each tree, and obviously they just follow the contours of the land. Don't just put them in straight. They'll just follow the line as the land goes up and down. Bit of shadow here on the other side behind these trees. Lots of flicks with the rigger, grasses and whatnot. Try to get plenty of variation. I'll just throw a bit of light red in now every here and there just to give it that little burst of colour. Put these banks in and then scraped these rocks out with the card. Did it left-handed because, well, for left-handed for me, imagine the light's coming from there, so you get the right side of it gets covered in light and the shadow goes on the left. Just so you get the same shadow patterns coming from the trees. Then use a dry, and it needs to be very dry brush, just to brush across. And then same from the other side, just give that sort of impression of like ripples and things on the surface of the water. Just cutting straight through some of the reflections, just makes the water look just a little bit more realistic. In the foreground, some dollops of yellow and blue again, and a few more flicks. Deliberately tried to put those in dark, just to cut straight across the light there to maximise the contrast. That's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you was painting along with me. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Remember, the book's on Amazon. This, as well as all the other paintings, are on eBay. All the materials, in fact everything you need to know is in the description. I've just got a whole load of links down there. Patreon as well, more videos. So thanks for watching. Like I say, if you have brought the book and you haven't put a review on Amazon, if you could do that for me please, that would be great. So till next time, keep practicing and happy painting.